Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever stopped to truly think about what goes into making sure that, I don't know, that tiny bolt or that specific plastic casing or maybe that complex electronic bit in your car is absolutely perfect every single time?
Right. We trust it, don't we?
We totally do. We assume it'll work. It was made right. It'll last for years. But behind pretty much every reliable product we use,
Mm.
your car, your phone, even like medical devices, there's this incredibly rigorous, often hidden process.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this silent guardian of quality,
Mm-hmm.
working away behind the scenes so we don't even have to think about it.
And it's fascinating here, I think, is that this isn't just about ticking a box at the end of the line or a quick inspection.
Right.
No, we're diving deep today into something called the production part approval process, PPAP for short.
PPP.
And this is a really comprehensive, multi-layered, well, deep dive, actually, into verifying a supplier's entire capability. We're talking about meeting incredibly strict customer specs, right from the first design idea all the way through to the final part rolling off the line in huge numbers.
Wow.
So our mission today really is to pull back the curtain on this absolutely vital process. We'll look at where it came from, walk through its intricate steps, and sort of figure out why it's become so indispensable in today's manufacturing world. Think of it as your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed about how real quality is built into products, not just checked for later.
And it really is a fascinating journey. We've got a fantastic stack of material for this deep dive. Everything from historical docs detailing how it even got started to some really insightful analyses of where it's heading, especially with everything going digital.
Yeah, that's a big part of it now.
So we're going to walk you through it piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you get the full nuanced picture without, feeling totally overloaded with information. Consider this your exclusive backstage pass to industrial scale quality control.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the basics. What exactly is Ppap?
Right.
At its heart, you said it's like a show and tell for parts, but like on a massive industrial scale.
That's a pretty good way to put it, yeah. It's essentially the supplier demonstrating, really proving beyond any doubt, that they can not only make what's needed, but they can make it precisely how it's needed, consistently, flawlessly, every single time they press that big green button on the machine.
Okay, consistency is key then.
Absolutely. And it's a standardized methodology, which is critical. That means there's a common rule book, an agreed upon process that everyone involved follows, from the tiniest little component supplier right up to the biggest global manufacturers.
Gotcha. Standardized. That makes sense.
Precisely. At its core, Ppap exists to make sure that manufacturers and their huge networks of suppliers can consistently produce parts that meet every single customer engineering specification and adhere to all the quality standards, especially once they get into high-volume mass production.
Right, when things really ramp up.
Exactly. It's not just one check. It's a meticulously defined series of steps, each one documented really carefully to provide absolute verifiable evidence. The main goal, the overriding objective, is to offer undeniable proof that a supplier fundamentally gets all the customer's design specs and requirements.
You really understand.
Deeply understand it. And that understanding then translates into a demonstrated, repeatable capability for consistent production. Meeting those tough quality expectations at the required speed, it's really a shift towards building quality in from the very beginning rather than just trying to catch mistakes at the end.
And I know you hear about Ppap a lot in like automotive and aerospace. Where obviously a faulty part could be, well, catastrophic.
Life-threatening, yeah. Absolutely critical in those sectors.
But you're saying its principles have actually spread out into other areas too.
Oh, definitely. That widespread adoption is really a testament to how effective it is. But yes, for automotive specifically, Ppap is so crucial it's actually mandated. It's one of the 5 core tools within the IATF 16949.206 quality standard.
IATF 16949.
Okay.
So if you're an automotive supplier and you want that certification, Ppap isn't just a good idea, it's a non-negotiable requirement. You have to do it.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Ppap isn't just some checklist. It's a fundamental pillar of modern quality assurance. Think of it as advanced risk mitigation.
Risk mitigation? How so?
Well, imagine discovering a critical design flaw or maybe a problem in the manufacturing process after hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of parts are already out there, shipped, maybe even in the final products.
Oh, man. Immense. Billions, potentially, in recalls, rework, not to mention the damage to your reputation. Ppap is designed to identify and really tackle all those potential issues, design flaws, process problems, material inconsistencies, before a part even gets close to mass production.
So it's all up front.
All upfront validation. By the time that component hits the assembly line, the confidence in its quality and reliability is incredibly high. It fundamentally shifts things from reactive problem solving to proactive quality assurance.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So where did this actually come from? The history must be interesting.
It really is.
You mentioned the early 90s.
Yeah, cast your mind back there. Imagine a time when every single major U.S. automaker, GM, Ford, Chrysler, the big three, they each had their own completely unique way of approving parts from their suppliers.
Oh, wow. So 3 different systems.
At least, can you imagine the nightmare for a supplier? Say you're a small company making a specific sensor and you want to sell it to all 3.
You're juggling 3 sets of rules.
Exactly. 3 different sets of forms, different requirements, different submission processes. Your engineers are just drowning in paperwork instead of actually innovating or improving the manufacturing.
What a mess.
It was. And this wasn't some top-down mandate that fixed it initially. It really bubbled up from a collective, almost desperate need for sanity and standardization in the supply chain. It was getting totally unmanageable.
So the suppliers actually pushed for it.
In a way, yes. The whole situation posed this critical challenge. How do you build trust and ensure consistent quality across this huge, complex supply chain when every big customer has different demands?
Right.
The North American auto industry, facing more global competition, tighter regulations, they recognized this inefficiency. And it kind of came to a head at this pivotal meeting hosted by the American Society for Quality ASQ Automotive Division.
ASQ.
At that meeting, suppliers didn't just whisper their concerns. They openly and apparently quite passionately urged the OEMs, the automakers, to ease the burden of all this redundant paperwork. They explained how it drained resources, diverted attention from actual quality improvements.
That sense.
And what followed wasn't just talk. It was a real collaborative effort, a partnership between the automakers and their suppliers. They had a shared goal: create common, streamlined quality standards that would benefit everyone.
And that collaboration led somewhere concrete.
It did. It laid the groundwork for something called QS 9000.
QS 9000.
Yeah, it was a groundbreaking quality system specifically for the auto industry. It basically harmonized a lot of those conflicting OEM requirements into one framework.
Ah, okay. A single standard.
Pretty much. And Ppap, the production part approval process, emerged directly from that initiative. It became the practical method, the how-to, for proving that a supplier's process could consistently make parts that met the specs before mass production started. It was the tangible result of that push for clarity.
So Ppap was the answer.
It really emerged as the industry's answer, yeah. A reliable way to manage and assure quality as international standards got tighter. And it quickly became integral to quality management systems. Today, big frameworks like IATF 16949 for auto and ISO 9001 more broadly, they basically require Ppap adherence for certification.
So it's deeply embedded now.
Totally embedded. It helps manufacturers reduce risks, improve communication with suppliers, and ensure high part quality. Ultimately, it fosters more trust and collaboration across the whole supply chain, which is absolutely essential today.
Okay, so we know what it is, where it came from. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, navigating the actual Ppap process. What does it look like for a supplier? You said it's a structured journey.
It is very structured, from the initial design review all the way through to full-scale production. And it's not just about proving you can make one good part, like a prototype.
Right, it's the consistency thing again.
Yeah, exactly. It's proving you can make it consistently, flawlessly, time after time, part after part. This standardized procedure, it's a validation tool, but it's also a really crucial communication pipeline between suppliers and customers. It lets them verify and formally approve designs and processes, not just before manufacturing, but also during production and even for changes later on.
So it's ongoing in a way.
It can be, yes. The Ppap process involves this defined sequence of steps suppliers follow to show they can consistently produce high-quality parts. It's not just paperwork. It involves evaluating initial samples, assessing the entire manufacturing process, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
The goal is to confirm, really confirm, that full-scale production can go ahead without introducing defects or inconsistencies. This detailed, proactive approach minimizes the risk of malfunctions, failures, accidents absolutely critical in automotive, aerospace, medical.
I'll take stuff.
Very high stakes. It's a core part of what's called Advanced Product Quality Planning, or APQP, specifically focusing on validating both the product and the process, preventing problems before they even happen.
Okay, so what's the general flow? If I'm a supplier, what are the main stages I go through?
Well, it typically starts with a startup phase. That's where you produce your initial samples using the documented manufacturing processes. Theory meets reality.
Making the first few parts.
Right. Then comes a really critical phase, data collection and analysis. You gather statistical data on key product characteristics. And importantly, you do a measurement system analysis, or MSA.
MSA. What's that?
That's basically checking your measurement tools, making sure the tools you use to measure the parts are accurate and reliable. You need to trust your data, right?
Ah, makes sense. Check the checker.
Exactly. After that groundwork, there's the PPP package compilation. This is the big administrative lift, gathering all the documents, design records, inspection reports, everything into one comprehensive package.
The infamous paperwork.
That's the one. Then customer review and approval. You submit the whole package to the customer. They review it, maybe do an audit on site. And finally, there's feedback implementation. If the customer has feedback, you address it, make adjustments to your process or documents, and ensure continuous improvement.
Right. Closing the loop. Okay, so that's the flow. But you mentioned the package. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? The famous 18 elements.
Well, the framework mentions up to 18 elements, yes. But our sources really detail about 14 core documents that form the heart of pretty much every TPP submission.
Okay, 14 critical ones.
Yeah. And these documents, when put together carefully, they tell the complete story of a part's journey, from idea to reality, verifying every step, every variable. Let's walk through some key ones and really understand why each one matters.
Sounds good. Because 14 documents still sounds like a lot. Why so meticulous?
That's the key colon, isn't it? Why all this detail? Because each document is a piece of the puzzle. Together, they build this comprehensive, auditable record, verifying every step, every variable. It's about leaving absolutely no stone unturned in the hunt for perfection and consistent quality. It's proof.
Okay, so what's number one?
First up, and probably the most crucial single document, is the part submission warrant, the PSW.
PSW.
Got it. Think of it like the cover letter, the executive summary, the formal declaration for the whole package. It identifies the part name, number, specs, the submission level required. We'll get to levels later.
Okay.
But more than that, it's the supplier formally certifying that the parts meet all customer requirements and the process is validated. Signing this is a big deal. It's a legal document.
Okay, so that's the summary. What else?
Then you have the design records. This is basically all the engineering drawings, the specifications, CAD models, everything that defines the part's design.
The blueprint.
The blueprint and more. It ensures everyone, designer, engineer, customer, is on the exact same page about what the part is and what it needs to do. Materials, finishes, tolerances, no room for mistakes.
Right. Clarity.
Crucial. Then, if things change after the design is initially approved, you need engineering change documents, or ECNs.
ECNs, okay.
These track any modifications to the part or the process. They outline the change, explain why it was made, maybe better performance, lower cost, fixing a manufacturing issue, and crucially, they ensure the customer reviews and approves the change before it happens. Keeps everything transparent and controlled.
Prevents random changes messing things up.
Exactly. Another really vital piece is the initial process studies. This isn't just showing the part works, it proves the process works reliably.
How do they do that?
Using statistical process control, or SPC, data, it demonstrates the stability and capability of key manufacturing processes, shows they can consistently produce parts within the tolerance limits. It's proactive proof the process is solid, not just that you got lucky with a few samples.
Okay, proving the process itself.
Yeah. Then for parts where looks matter, think interior car panels, phone casings, there's the Appearance Approval Report, or AAI.
KAI for aesthetics.
Exactly. This form is specifically for those parts, and it must be signed off by the customer's representative. It confirms visual standards are met: color match, texture, gloss, overall finish. What you see is what you get.
Makes sense for consumer-facing stuff.
Definitely. And of course, you need the actual physical proof. Sample production parts and a master sample.
Real parts.
Real parts from the initial run, often with photos. And critically, a master sample is kept either by the supplier or customer. It's the physical benchmark, the gold standard for future comparisons, making sure later runs match the approved part.
A reference point. Got it.
Then, the dimensional results. This is straightforward but vital. It's a record of the actual measurements taken from a bunch of those initial samples.
Proving it meets the specs on the drawing.
Precisely. Verifies all the critical dimensions are within tolerance. It's the baseline data for ongoing quality. Direct evidence of conformity.
Okay. What about measuring the measurements? You mentioned MSA earlier.
Right. Measurement system analysis. MSA. This is absolutely critical for data integrity. It's not about the part. It's about the tools and methods used to measure the part.
Okay.
MSA evaluates the accuracy, precision, reliability of your measurement systems, your calipers, gauges, CMM machines, whatever. It ensures the data you collect is trustworthy. If your measurement system is off, how can you trust your dimensional results?
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
MSA is the check on the checker.
Okay, that's super important. What else?
Building on that, you have the control plan. This is the documented strategy outlining how you'll control the manufacturing processes to maintain quality.
Like a game plan for production.
Pretty much. It specifies controls on both product characteristics and process characteristics. And it's usually developed based on insights from another key document, the Process Failure Mode and Effects Analysis, PFMEA.
PFMEA. Sounds complex.
It's a systematic way to identify potential failure modes in your production process. What could go wrong? How bad would it be? How likely is it? How easily can we detect it?
Wow, like predicting problems.
Exactly. The PFMEA anticipates potential problems, and the control plan lays out the specific checks and steps to prevent them from happening. Defect prevention.
PFMEA finds the risks, control plan manages them.
Okay.
And finally, for materials, there's qualified laboratory documentation. This includes certifications and test reports from accredited labs for material tests, raw materials, components, finished parts.
Proving the materials themselves are good.
Yep. Evidence that materials meet quality standards, regulations, specs, chemical and physical properties confirmed.
Oh, that's comprehensive.
It is. And our sources also mention process flow diagrams, visual maps of how the part is made step by step, and, critically, explicit customer engineering approval, the documented sign-off from the customer's engineers on the sample parts.
Yeah.
Each of these, whether it's a diagram, a stat report, a signature, it's a critical interconnected piece. The sheer volume isn't just bureaucracy. It's designed to slash risks before launch and ensure the supplier truly, deeply understands all the customer's requirements. No stone unturned. Okay, that makes the why much clearer. Now, you mentioned submission levels earlier with the PSW. That sounds like it's not always the full 14-plus document.
Exactly. Quality assurance is layered, and PPP reflects that. It's definitely not one size fits all, and that's actually a strength.
How so?
Well, imagine you need to approve a simple standard washer versus, say, a complex safety-critical engine part.
Right. Totally different levels of risk.
Precisely. The level of scrutiny, the amount of documentation you'd need, would be vastly different. That's what the PPP levels handle. There are 5 distinct levels, each requiring different degrees of documentation and evaluation, tailored to the specific needs, complexity, and risk involved.
5 levels, okay.
And what's fascinating is how these levels allow flexibility while still maintaining rigor. Choosing a level isn't random, it's a strategic decision.
Based on what?
Based on things like how critical the part is, the potential risks if it fails, how complex the manufacturing is, and even the supplier's track record. It ensures resources, time, effort are focused where they're needed most, like on high-risk or brand-new parts.
Smart. Okay, so let's break down the 5 levels. What's level 1?
Level 1 is the most basic. It's just the PSW, the part submission warrant submitted to the customer. Usually no supporting documents, no samples required.
Really? When would you use that?
Generally for very low-risk, simple parts, especially with suppliers who have a long proven history of excellent quality, like a standard bolt from a trusted supplier you've used for ages.
Okay, minimal risk, minimal paperwork, level 2.
Level 2 requires the PSW plus actual product samples, but only limited supporting data. So maybe just a few key documents, dimensional results, material certs perhaps. It's a step up from level 1, more assurance, but not the full package.
A middle ground. Makes
Yeah.
sense. What about level 3?
Level 3 is kind of the default, the most common level, especially for new parts, new processes, or significant changes. Here you submit the PSW, product samples, and comprehensive supporting data, pretty much the full set we discussed.
The whole shebang.
Basically, yeah. It gives a really detailed view of the whole manufacturing process and quality measures. A thorough evaluation.
Okay, that seems standard. Level 4.
Level 4 is more customizable. It's the PSW, samples, plus additional specific requirements defined by the customer. This lets the customer tailor the PP. Maybe they want specific extra tests or documentation based on their own risk assessment or unique product needs. It's level 3 plus whatever the customer adds.
Flexible. Okay. And the highest level? Level 5.
Level 5 is the most expensive. PSW, samples, complete supporting data, like level 3. But here's the kicker. All the documentation has to be reviewed and signed off by the customer at the supplier's manufacturing site.
On-site review. Wow.
Yeah, often includes a full audit of the facility and processes. It's hands-on validation right there on the factory floor. Maximum scrutiny, maximum assurance, reserved for the most critical, complex, or maybe revolutionary new parts.
Okay, that's a clear breakdown.
Hmm.
So for you, the listener, what this means is that before production even starts, there's this strategic decision about how much scrutiny is needed for each specific part.
Exactly. It's like tailoring a safety net.
Right. Adjusting the strength based on the potential fall. And the customer decides the level based on part criticality, process complexity, and the supplier's history.
Precisely. A supplier with a fantastic track record might need a lower level for a similar part compared to a brand new supplier, or one using a totally new process. It aligns the effort with the risk.
Clear.
And for suppliers, implementing this means they have to really understand all the customer's specs and requirements. Then, based on that understanding and the risks, they figure out which level is needed to meet the quality standards for that specific part. Each level is a step towards ensuring parts meet or exceed expectations consistently.
Okay, so we've gone through the process, the documents, the levels, but why? Why go through all this intense effort? What are the real benefits?
The why. Because the benefits, when it's done right, are profound. It's not just avoiding problems, it's about unlocking better quality, stronger partnerships, even driving efficiency.
More than just quality control, then.
Much more. It's a strategic tool. It shifts the focus from reactive firefighting to proactive prevention, building a more resilient, efficient supply chain. The first big benefit is obvious: solid quality assurance.
Right, making sure the part works.
And works consistently to spec. The standardized process guarantees products meet or exceed requirements, minimizes quality issues, enhances reliability, boosts customer satisfaction. The product does what it's supposed to do every time.
And that ties into the risk thing you mentioned earlier, risk mitigation.
Absolutely. Ppap is a powerful proactive measure, catching that flaw in an airbag sensor before it leaves the factory, not after.
Yeah, avoiding disaster.
Exactly. It drastically reduces the likelihood of defects and nonconformities. Potential issues get flagged and fixed early, preventing those hugely expensive recalls, rework, warranty claims. It's like an industrial early warning system for quality.
That's huge. What else?
It also fosters much better communication and collaboration. The detailed documents, the samples, the potential audits it creates, this transparent channel. Supplier and customer align on processes, specs, quality expectations.
Builds trust.
Builds huge trust, strengthens the relationship, leads to smoother workflows, fewer misunderstandings, fewer costly revisions. It turns what could be an adversarial relationship into a real partnership.
Better partnerships. And you mentioned efficiency. It seems like more work, not less.
Initially, maybe. But smart adoption, especially with digital tools, leads to increased efficiency. Cloud platforms, data management software, AI, they can slash the manual effort in gathering documents, managing submissions, getting approvals.
Technology helps streamline it.
Massively. Reduces manual effort, cuts costs, minimizes human errors from messy paperwork, makes the whole workflow faster, more accurate.
Right. And ultimately, this all leads to happier customers, I assume.
Definitely. Enhanced customer satisfaction. Ensuring parts meet stringent standards before mass production means manufacturers deliver reliable, high-performing products consistently. That's crucial in competitive markets. Quality drives loyalty. And the focus on continuous improvement within Ppap contributes to better products over time.
And lastly, it sounds like it helps with just meeting basic industry rules. Compliance with industry standards.
Yes. That's key. Ppap is required by many global quality standards, especially in automotive, aerospace, medical. Adhering to Ppap demonstrates compliance, enhances reputation, gives a competitive edge. It shows you're serious about quality and risk management. It's table stakes in many sectors now.
Okay, lots of benefits, but nothing's perfect, right? What are the downsides? The challenges?
You're right. No process is perfect. And Ppap definitely has its complexities and speed bumps.
Okay.
Despite the benefits, implementing it effectively can be tricky, especially across global supply chains.
What's the biggest hurdle?
One major one is the complexity of standardization globally. Trying to get truly uniform procedures across different countries, different regulations, different tech levels, it's tough.
It's the inconsistencies.
It can, yeah. How Ppap's then in one place might differ subtly from another. This lack of absolute rigidity can, ironically, cause inefficiencies and make it hard to ensure all components meet standards universally. It's a balancing act.
Okay, standardization is tricky. What else?
Related to that is documentation control. We talked about maybe 14 core documents, potentially up to 18. Keeping all of that accurate, up-to-date, accessible, auditable. It's a huge task.
Especially without good systems.
Exactly. Poor document management can lead to wrong submissions, non-compliance, costly risks for everyone involved, wasted time, wasted resources.
And the human element, collaboration.
Yeah, that can be a challenge too.
Uh.
Supplier collaboration and communication. Even though PPAS is meant to help, unclear requirements or poor communication channels can still cause delays. Suppliers might struggle to understand exactly what's needed or lack ways to get quick answers.
Leads to bottlenecks.
Frustrating bottlenecks, yeah.
Right.
Back and forth exchanges, delays impacting production schedules.
And just the sheer time it takes.
That's another one, time-consuming administration. The detail required can make the approval process lengthy. This administrative burden can pull resources away from other important things, potentially risking timelines or compliance if not managed well. It's always a balance between thoroughness and speed.
Okay. And even with all this, risks aren't totally eliminated.
No, there can still be risk management challenges. While Ppap aims to catch risks early, organizations might still miss something. Unexpected problems can pop up once production starts. It underscores the need for ongoing vigilance, good analysis, continuous improvement, even within the Ppap framework. It's not a magic bullet, just a very good system.
Right. It's a process, not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So these aren't just theoretical challenges. Big companies deal with this stuff daily, right? Can you give some examples?
Oh, absolutely. Ppap is heavily used in automotive, as we've said, to ensure quality and reliability. It's not just paperwork, it's strategic proof of capability.
Like Ford.
Yeah, Ford Motor Company is a great example. They've been really proactive in strengthening their supply chain, especially after disruptions like COVID. They emphasize Ppap for clear communication and ensuring reliable parts. They've diversified suppliers, partnered with tech firms, but Ppap remains central to managing quality and supplier relationships. They use it to make sure suppliers understand the specs and can deliver, adapting production based on part availability.
And GM.
General Motors, too. Historically, they, like others, had their own unique supplier approval processes way back. The move to standardize Ppap was a huge improvement. And now, GM requires a new Ppap not just for new parts, but for significant changes in design, process, even suppliers. It reinforces that continuous quality assurance idea. Revalidation is key.
So it's not just a one-time thing.
Definitely not for changes. And what's really interesting is how these core Ppap principles, proving compatibility, have spread beyond auto, medical devices, electronics, aerospace. Because the fundamental idea works anywhere, precision and reliability matter. Using TPPI in these sectors leads to better supplier communication, fewer revisions, fewer turnbacks, better project timelines. If you need consistent, high-quality parts, PPPI provides a solid framework. As quality demands keep rising globally, Ppap's importance just grows.
Okay, so it's well-established, widely used, but evolving. What's next? What's the future of Ppap look like?
Well, like pretty much everything else, it's going digital.
Less paper, more data.
Exactly. Imagine less physical paperwork, more real-time insights. The process is definitely set to evolve significantly with digitization and data-driven approaches. As demands for quality and compliance get even tougher, technology will be crucial for streamlining PPI and making it more effective.
How will digital tools change things?
Well, those traditional manual paper-based processes, they're being replaced by automated systems. Think cloud-based platforms, advanced data management software, maybe even AI helping with analysis. These facilitate real-time collaboration, seamless info sharing between suppliers and customers.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Faster, fewer errors.
That's the goal. Minimizing the time and effort for submissions, improving efficiency, reducing those manual errors that creep in. It's moving towards a more seamless, interconnected approval ecosystem. The question really becomes, how do we make this robust process even more efficient and accurate? Digital transformation is the answer.
And PPP itself isn't set in stone, right? It adapts.
Correct. It's not a rigid checklist. It's a living framework. That commitment to continuous improvement and adaptability is key to its future. Manufacturers see it's flexible. It can be tailored for specific industry needs. Aerospace, medical, electronics, each has nuances.
So you can integrate other methods.
Absolutely. Integrating best practices like Lean Six Sigma for process optimization, continually enhancing quality. It ensures PPP stays relevant as industries change.
And what about the people side, the relationships?
That's a huge part of the future picture, I think. Enhanced supplier relationships. The role of the supplier quality engineer, SQE, is evolving less of a police officer, more of a partner.
More collaboration.
Yes. The focus is shifting towards stronger, more strategic partnerships. Transparent collaboration, open communication, aligning everyone on expectations. This partnership mindset will likely lead to better defect prevention, not just detection. Shared responsibility, shared success.
That sounds positive. And globally.
As supply chains get more complex, expect even greater alignment with global standards and compliance. Ppap needs to work seamlessly across borders.
So more harmonization.
I think so.
Yeah.
Facilitating cross-border operations, adapting to diverse regulations while keeping high benchmarks. The evolution of standards like IATF 16949 will continue to reinforce Ppap's necessity for consistent global quality. It's really becoming integral to any global manufacturer's strategy, making sure that part made in country A fits perfectly into the product assembled in country B.
Okay, so it's digital, adaptive, collaborative, and global. Quite the future.
It's constantly evolving to meet new challenges.
So there you have it. We've taken a really comprehensive deep dive into the production part approval process. We've looked at its history, walked through the meticulous steps, understood the different levels, and hopefully appreciated its incredible impact on ensuring the products we rely on are consistently high quality. It's truly a testament to precision, rigorous planning, and just deep collaboration, a hidden but absolutely vital framework.
It really is. And this raises an interesting thought, maybe for you, the listener. Now that you understand this huge, meticulous effort behind ensuring just a single component's quality, its journey through PP, how might that newfound appreciation change the way you view the reliability and safety of the everyday products all around you? And what other seemingly simple things in your life do you now suspect have equally complex, hidden processes working away behind the scenes? Processes ensuring your safety, your satisfaction, your peace of mind.
Yeah, something profound to chew on, isn't it? The next time you, I don't know, open the hood of your car, or even just click a button on some simple device, maybe take a moment to remember the quiet, complex, and really impactful dance of Ppap that made it all possible. That drive for consistent excellence.
Well put.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the hidden world of quality.